announcing that Conservatives will introduce legislation to amend the Criminal Code and restore the value of Canadian citizenship by ending the practice of judges considering a non-citizen's immigration status in sentencing. Since 2013, a Supreme Court ruling has permitted judges to consider immigration status when sentencing. This has been seen in several recent high-profile cases. For example, a permanent resident received a conditional sentence after being convicted of trying to purchase sexual services from a 15-year-old, as a stronger penalty would have hindered him and his wife from obtaining Canadian citizenship.
Oh.
Another non-citizen in Canada on a visitor's permit was convicted twice of groping an 18-year-old woman's genitals at a bar, yet received a discharge to avoid a permanent criminal record and to allow for an appeal of their deportation. Anyone seeking residence or citizenship in Canada has responsibilities as well as rights. When it comes to sentencing non-citizens, Canada has essentially adopted a form of two-tier justice where judges can and have given lighter sentences to individuals who are non-citizens by virtue of this ruling. This offends all principles of fairness that should be foundational to our justice system. This is why, once the House of Commons resumes this fall, Conservatives will introduce legislation to amend the Criminal Code to rectify this issue. Our bill will add a section after Section 718.202 of the Criminal Code, which will expressly outline that any potential impact of a sentence on the immigration status of a convicted non-citizen offender or that of their family members should not be taken into consideration by a judge when issuing a sentence.
I can't wait to see the Liberals argue against that good common sense measure that protects the public safety of Canadians, but also prevents the devaluation of our citizenship.
Well, that's just it. And this is like amending the criminal code to remove considerations on people that aren't Canadians. Creating a two-tier justice system can be applied across the board. I think the point that I gravitated to was that we're admitting we have a two-tier justice system in Canada. So if we are calling for an amendment of the criminal code pertaining to this part of two-tier justice, then maybe we should consider applying it to all parts of two-tier justice in Canada, because we know that our justice system needs huge reform, Sheila Gunn Reid. It just does. Our justice system, just like so many other public institutions, have been infiltrated by people who would subject their personal ideologies upon the courts. Okay, this is what's happened. And this is a great example. And I hope that we can get it done, but also apply it to every other place where there is two-tier justice in this country. This is especially pertinent when it comes to First Nations people who are convicted and who get to have special considerations via a GLADU report considered as part of their sentencing. It's the same thing. It's two-tier justice. So in whatever way we can dial this back, I think it's a great idea, and good for Michelle Rempel-Gardner for opening the door to having this conversation.
Just let's play the other side of this. Could you imagine a Canadian citizen convicted of sex offenses against a minor, thus successfully arguing to a judge, give me a conditional sentence that expunges my record after 18 months or whatever, because I want to travel to the United States and a criminal record won't allow that for me. He would be laughed out of the courtroom.
Right. Those considerations aren't made once you've been convicted. Once I do believe that the right of appeal is real important in these cases too. But if you're convicted, if you go through the entire appeal process and you're still found to be guilty, you should not be able to claim special status and say, but your sentence is going to have a real big bearing on my life. It's supposed
my ability
to have
go to Disneyland. Yeah.
It's supposed to have a really big impact on your life. It's supposed to inconvenience you.
Yeah.
No, straight back to that hellhole of a country where those people came from. Straight back. Like today.
Out you go. Out you go.
Yes.
For the sake of our daughters. Out you go.
Deported.
And on the and people have heard me say this on the show. I actually think there are there are things that people should never be pardoned for. But
Agreed.
but
Agreed.
at the same time, I think both Canada and the United States are too strict on some things. Things that have happened 20 years ago, a bar
Yeah.
fight, getting caught with a joint,
Yeah.
even theft or whatever, stuff like that. If you've
Yeah.
lived a good life, you've stayed out of trouble for 20 years, even 10 years.
If you learned
um,
your lesson.
If you learned your
lesson.
lesson, I
Yeah.
think the pardon process or the record suspension process is too complicated, too long, and it prohibits people from getting on with their lives. I truly believe that. There should come a time where your sentence is just spent and you're not that person anymore. But then there's this stuff, and I think it would behoove a government that cares about public safety reform and criminal justice reform to think about both of those things. We
Yes.
treat some people like they are beyond redemption, and we treat other people like they don't even need it. And
Yes.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, in the new country, Sheila Gunn Reid, I like to say that every single
Right.
episode. In the new country, we're going to have to make sure to take a long, hard look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your drunk driving offense from when you were 19, but now you're 35. We'll get rid of it. That's
Yep.
what I think.
But if you are a sexual offender,
Never.
okay, never.
You're not
No,
you're not allowed to change your name. I don't even want you moving. Okay.
Yeah.
You're stuck there.